Hello guys, welcome back. So by popular demand, we'll have our beautiful lady Bastet today. I can feel she's like so excited. She's like, yes. First off, to get out of the way, you don't have to know any kind of ancient Egyptian language to work with her. She speaks whatever language you speak just fine. All gods and goddesses do. Getting like this. And I never really learned to translate hieroglyphics or something. So I know some people get super into Egyptology, and I adore Egyptology, but you guys know my brain. I study runes for over a year, and I still couldn't tell you what they all are, but they don't mind. So that out of the way, she is super, super loving. With some people, the grand debate is going to be, is she a woman? Is she a cat? Is she a cat-headed woman? She can appear however she likes with you and whatever's going to make you comfortable. With me, she looks like a cat-headed woman with black fur and that beautiful white chief dress we often see her in. But that's because I knew her from so little that I didn't understand anything but that. I thought all the Egyptian gods literally looked the way they do, and so they will in kindness show up for you. Some people, will only encounter them in a human form. Think like Neil Gaiman. You're really not going to see in a modern fictional thing, Bastet with a cat head or, Anubis with a jackal head, even though that's the way I interact with them. But it's okay, whatever you're getting is not wrong. They don't have to look like anything in particular. Bastet especially is good at looking like whatever or whoever she wants. I've seen cat goddess I deal with, beautiful human woman, Marilyn Monroe once. Wasn't polite. She loves all colors. She does. I've seen, like a purple dress. And please, guys, this is decades of work. This isn't just, please don't freak out and think you have to do, right away. And one time I was working on an article years ago, I wrote on her and I was like, somebody asked, can she have a priest? And of course she can have priests. She can have priests and priestesses. And, she has fertility down. Obviously women would pray to her for fertility, and they would have these charms that you could wear, and it would have a mother cat, and however many children you wanted, that would be that many kittens on it. So imagine thousands of years ago, women were wearing these charms with cats and kittens on them. I'm like, yes, they were the original cat women. I love these people. This is the best goddess ever. And I forget quite what she was answering me on, but she was horsing around wearing a phallus, so she was just saying she can, whatever mysterious way Bastet has to do it, she can bring both. So I'm not getting into that debate with you. It's Bastet. She's kind of random. With me, she has a very youthful energy, a very bubbly, silly, playful energy. I never ever forget that she is also a war goddess, and she marched out before the armies of Egypt. You don't fool with her when she's in that mode. Like, I think I said in the article, yeah, I think it was on her, that you don't, bother your mom for something when she's mad. I would not go to the war goddess and ask for a cuddle. She probably would because it's Bastet, but if she would look really angry, that might not be the day to ask for a cuddle. But I've never seen her lose her temper, actually. I've seen her get defensive. I've seen her get angry on my behalf or other people's behalves. But she's not going to get angry at you. She's a sweet, very gentle, they say starter god or goddess. I don't like that term, but she would be a safe one. She and Anubis were the first ones right out of the gate to be there for me and be like, we are not your matron or patron. We're sorry you have a lot of journey to go, but we will take care of you. And so she's always been very sweet. She will teach you all the arts that you could ever like to know. Like, she can either teach by inspiration, maybe you won't feel like much communication, or you might feel communication. She loves dancing oil, and she loves dancing, and she loves music, and she loves dancing skyclad if you're of an appropriate age and you can do that. She's very sensual. Her festival in May was a very sensual Mardi Gras type festival of fertility with, adults only. No children were allowed at this event. Drinking, singing, all the beer you could want because she loves beer. The more beer, the better. She's like Sekhmet with the beer. I'm getting giggles because Sekhmet once drunk so much that she passed out. But they had to. Long story. We can talk about Seki some other day, baby. And she would have these parties and women would be flashing people, and I think some of the men would be flashing people, and people would be getting up to all sorts of things. You don't know what I mean on these boats. And it was a celebration of life. So she went from being this lioness, war goddess, and she transformed into the Bastet. And remember, cats were very essential because if you're going to have an agrarian society and you're going to have all this grain, you better damn well have something around that can, eat all the mice and rats and whatnot you're going to get. So she was very essential and beloved. And of course, cats were believed to have mystical powers. Now, whether some of these were added later or not, I don't rightly know. I'm not an ancient Egyptian. But, like they held the moon in their eyes and they had a magical connection to Bastet. Some people, would even the temples would they would have a prayer and they would, this is the bad part of her worship. They would go and they would say they needed this thing. And they would whisper the thing, the priest would whisper whatever the prayer was or something to the kitty and then dispatch Kitty. Then Kitty would be buried and carry the prayer to Bastet because there's one thing a dead cat's going to do is going to run to mommy, hopefully. Probably run to mommy pissed off and say, they're still killing all the cats, mom. But, the sincerely held belief was that a cat would carry your prayers to Bastet. Unfortunately, at the time they dispatched the cat. You do not have to harm cats. Do not harm cats. If you're going to be a priestess of Bastet, first rule, do not harm the kitties. You don't have to like kitties. If for some reason you don't like cats and still want to work with Bastet, you don't have to like cats. But do no harm. She loves cats. For her, it's, I do think every relationship is different. I'm trying to think how to say this, getting like 12 ideas at once. She seems amused. She loves music. She loves any type of food. If you're really not into food, she's probably going to encourage you. She's not going to turn you into a glutton. But remember, she comes from a desert background where food was very precious and water and everything was very precious. So anything you would like to offer, you don't have to at the start of a relationship. You don't have to just laden the goddess down with offerings because that already sets the bar. But anything you like. I found she likes coffee as much as she likes milk. She loves her sweets. She loves her chocolates. She's a total girly girl. I've also found she loves steak, meat, fish, obviously. I once, with very much trepidation, offered her catnip. She was thoroughly amused and then stopped laughing for like 20 minutes. So she's a sweetheart. I would eventually then like start taking her cat toys and giving them to her for a while before I gave them to the cats. And the cats would come and steal them off the altar. And if you are going to be working magic with her, or working a ritual with her, your cats are going to show up like out of nowhere a lot of the time, and they're going to want to see what is this goddess getting. She does not care. Feed the cats first before you worry about putting it on the table. In fact, feeding the cats and taking care of cats is an offering to Bastet. So if you can't live with a cat, for example, maybe, once in a while, if you can, volunteer at a shelter, do something kind for a cat somewhere, she will appreciate it. Very much an animal, goddess. She loves cats. She loves the night, but she loves the day equally as well. This is really random, but she kind of scatters my energy because she's different with everyone, and I get kind of like this bubbly, cute, giggly. She's as smart as a whip, highly intelligent, but she hides early. And she makes you giggly. I mean, I had like a quarter of a cup of coffee and a Jimmy Dean sausage sandwich. I've had nothing to make me this giggly. But she's giggly and she's bubbly and bright. Where the hell were we going? I don't know. Cats. I'm getting like, I don't know. She's very warm, she's loving, she loves cats, she loves the moon, she loves the sun, she loves everything. Some call her the protector of Ra, it's said there's like this, what would it be called? A cartouche? Whatever it is, one of those paintings of a cat slamming a sword down on the snake. And some say that is Bastet, that she is divine protectoress. And some people will say other goddesses. They don't really care. They're not going to get their claws out and rumble. As long as they're love, they understand we humans do the best we can. They understand we get confused over things. She's a very good goddess. The only time I've seen her little ears go back is if she doesn't think something's fair and she doesn't think you're either being treated right or you're treating someone else right. Obviously, this is the goddess that the Old Testament is not her favorite book in the world because the Egyptian gods don't fare too well. And those little ears go back, and she just looks sad, and little whiskers go out, and she looks sad, and her little head's down. She's like, "Oh, go away, I'm bad." And I said, it's okay. She's gonna work with you if you're Christian, by the way. But the idea of Jehovah making the Egyptian gods listen, I'm like, she doesn't listen now. She loves her people. She adores her people. But a cat is not a dog. They're not an obedient creature. She's a goddess, damn it. She's not gonna listen in the first place. I get, yay! When you work with her, you may find a lot of the other Egyptian gods and goddesses come along. Anubis especially for me, and they act like, the male and female protectors for me. And, Sekhmet, of course, and Hathor and Isis. Her name literally means soul or heart of Isis. Bastet is actually kind of like a cute pet name. The name would have originally been Bast. Some people will not use Bastet. They think it's offensive. They think it's demeaning, but it's like, is a kitty witty witty igum igum as far as I can translate. And she likes it. Don't talk to her like she's, oh god, the cats went off. Don't talk to her like she's stupid. Yes, kitty wiggy igum. Don't talk to her like she's stupid, but you could talk baby talk to her, she's fine. Did I even say anything remotely rational? I hope so. What happened is one of the cars went by and the light went through and it set off the cat, but that was epic timing, don't you think? And she can do that. When I work with her, it's all indulgence. It's all very much, we know this is going to be like the last day that's kind of warm, like in the 50s, like then everything's going down in the 40s. Not that I can't go out in the 40s, but we also saw a box of chocolates and she's like, oh. And other gods or goddesses would be like, that is some cheap ass nasty chocolate. And she's like, chocolate. So chocolate, perfume, plushies, absolutely anything. If you take enjoyment in it, she will like it too. So if you like to read, or you like music, or dance, or anything you like, anything that brings you joy and pleasure, she's goddess of joy and pleasure, sensual arts, fertility, protection, healing. Anything else she wants to do, she's got a lot in her basket. She's referred to as a goddess of, hope I'm not crossing my kitty cats here, of milk and honey, or milk, no, bread and beer. She's a goddess of bread and beer. It was like the ears went boop. And yeah, there goes the clock. But we put that up. They wanted it put up. But she is, give it a minute. You're not hearing it probably, just give it a minute. Okay, so that was really long. Only on this channel. But, she is, goddamn clock. This is gonna get old fast. She is, she's laughing. She's a bit of a prankster too. So, sometimes she'll do stuff and she's being silly and she's playing a good-natured joke on you. Um, she's, this is like the hardest video to make because she scatters my energy. It's kind of hard to concentrate because she's always like, come dance, come play, come make, essential oils and dance and frolic to music. But she can be good at other stuff too. She's very good at protective, and anything you go to her for, if she would feel she couldn't handle it for some reason, whatever it would be, she would find the appropriate god or goddess for you. And she doesn't really seem to care about pantheon. So if it would be another god or goddess that would be best, she would give you very good advice. So she's a very good advisor as well. She is very wise. Remember, she's a war goddess, so she's very smart. Think like if Athena and Marilyn Monroe could have a thought child, that's kind of what you would get with Bastet. I'm kidding, laughing. With me, she can talk, but she uses a lot of miming. She uses like a lot of clapping, a lot of jumping up and down, a lot of dancing, a lot of, she will stand to show you she's feeling proud, or she'll do this to show you she's sad. So she's very much cat-like with me. Of You can read the body language faster sometimes than you could read words, and she will do that with you. So, did I forget anything? I'm trying to think because she scatters my brain, and then the clock went off and the cat meowed, and that's kind of what you'll get when you work with her. It's this kind of Frankish energy sometimes too. Sometimes I'm not sure if it's she does it or that when she's here, it's you can feel all the other gods and goddesses feel free to come in, and I've often felt that Hermes is deeply attracted to her energy, utterly fascinated. And, I think because she's sweet and she's kind and she's gentle, but if you were going to hurt a woman or a man or any gender under her protection, she will cut you. She will cut you. She does have that wrathful goddess side. You're not going to see it if you work with her, but if you would ever hurt anyone under her protection, she will come back at you with a vengeance. So she's anyone that suffered abuse, anyone that suffered a violent act, anyone that suffered an assault of any kind, she will protect you. You can go to her for protection. You can go to her for nurturing. Now, you're still going to have to do, all of the other obvious things. Please go to the police and, to, therapy and whatever else you need. But she's going to be the one that's protective. She's very protective and territorial of those she thinks of as her little kittens. And she will protect her people with a vengeance. And she is extremely serious about that. She don't want any bullshit from any other god or goddess. And nobody, when Bastet's in her power, nobody argues with her. I don't see Odin argue with her. I don't see anyone argue with her. When that warrior goddess that goes and marches out in front of the armies comes forward, she's going to protect. And she's going to protect with, the claws. And, she gets along well with all the other gods and goddesses. She's especially fond of Isis, obviously, Anubis, and Sekhmet. For me, for you, it might be different gods. And she's a total sweetheart. When I work with her, if we work a lot, I end up like not getting very much productive done because remember, she's very much a fertility celebrate cult goddess. She can help you be industrious, but she's often like, you work far too hard. You've been working for years. You haven't taken a vacation. Like, she's the same way with me today, like Dionysus is like, you literally never stop. You literally never take a vacation. Let's go at least go for a walk and go look at the chocolate, pretty please. So she's extremely easy to please. She doesn't even need an altar if you don't want it or you can't have it for whatever reason. But she loves everything you love, whether it's walks or anything. She's extremely easy to please. She's extremely low maintenance. She will have historical festivals you can look up, and if you join some kind of order that works with her, they will demand you do things their way. But if you're working one-on-one, she doesn't care. So I can't really give you any specific colors or anything. If we see colors in that, sometimes it's like more of a message for us, but we can pass it on. Like if we see white, we might think healing, or we might think purity, or we might think glamour. With me, it always makes me think of Marilyn Monroe, at least if Bastet's wearing it. But she's a wonderful goddess. She's a goddess of glamour. She's a goddess of beauty. She's a goddess of beauty in good way. Like knowing you're beautiful and celebrating your beauty is one thing. Being vain and making duck faces at an Instagram camera, it's like okay, I understand you're beautiful and that's good, but she will bring us back. She's all the gods and goddesses usually have a temperance in what they're the god or goddess of. So yeah, celebrate your beauty. Everybody's beautiful, so forth and so on. But don't go to the extreme. Don't be vain. Don't be, overly showy. You can be beautiful and confident, but don't knock other people down with it. That would be like Bastet's one rule. Celebrate you, be fabulous, be, proud of who you are and celebrate yourself. Just don't knock other people down with it. That was like the only rule I've ever had from her. And, to love yourself. She's very much about loving yourself. And I keep getting images of drag queens. So just so you know, she's like gay friendly, straight friendly. She really doesn't care. It's like this universal thing of she loves everyone. And there goes the free travel vacation I've won, and we've gone on for 20 minutes again. So if you guys like what you see, like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you later. Bye bye.